Everyone has a testimony. Mine just happens to start in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I remember my great grandmother. I remember Gigi. She was teaching me Jesus loves me. I was sitting there in her recliner. Well, technically, it was Big Bob's recliner. Don't really remember where he was at the moment, but I know back then he was working, probably, or running the roads trying to avoid her. They were crazy. They loved each other. It was great. But I do remember some bits and pieces of some wild times. But I'm getting a bit off topic. Let me back up. So, before I understood faith, before I understood life, before I even knew who Jesus was, I was already hearing about his love. And the funny thing is that later, years later, when I finally came back to God, that same song became the first track on my newest album. And that first song that I ever released on my very first album told the lyrics of the same story, a child hearing about God's love before they could even understand it. You know, learning that God sees you even when you don't see him. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think God allows us to make mistakes so that way when we finally come to know him, like, I mean, really know him, that we can look back and see that he was there the whole time? That's what I believe testimony. I know I've survived moments in my life that I probably should not have made it through. And looking back, I can now see that even as a child, God was already working in my life, planting seeds I didn't understand yet. Even the smallest lessons, like the song my Gigi taught me, they were already shaping me to become the person that I'm becoming. And those songs, the first of my first album and now the first of my latest, they're not just music. Those are gentle reminders that God's love has been constant in my life from, the very beginning. But childhood is just the beginning. And some of the lessons that I would face later, they were far bigger than I could ever